What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy right here, MMA Reloaded. We are live and direct once again for another episode, the 30th episode, in fact, of MMA Reloaded on the mic. I am your host, as always, folks. Uh, and, you know, today is a very special episode because, I don't know if you saw my video on Instagram with thanking everybody who's actually come onto the on the mic show and had it, and who I've had the pleasure of sitting with and chatting with on the here on the mic. I was a bit of tongue twister there, you know what I'm saying? But this all really started for me, man. On the mic actually started, folks. So as you know, I've had Real Talk podcast. I have the Real Talk podcast, which which I've been fortunate and pleasured to do 53 episodes. Which I've had the pleasure of doing 53 episodes with so many great fighters. Like, it's been an absolute it's been an experience like no other. And then on the mic really just started because I wanted somewhere like a second platform where I could just get stuff off my chest. If I wasn't in like for fight breakdowns, or if I wanted to talk about a fight, talk about a fighter, talk about criticism that was going on with fights or in UFC, Bellator, PFL, One Championship. I wanted to talk about martial arts. That was my platform. That's why I began on the mic the way I did. But I started to have guests on with when I became an affiliate of Cage Steel. It was an absolute thrill of mine to do that, because Cage Steel and regional promotions like that, but that's what really just inspired me and ticked me, that on the mic could be used for young lions and young warriors to have and to say their piece, and have this stage to say what they feel, and for fans to get to know. So on the mic has really been just now a platform which I'm pleasured to use to sit with young fighters, rising stars, breakout stars, young veterans who are still trying to make it up top. Those types of fighters, and I've had the pleasure of sitting with so many great young fighters. And it's one of those things with me that if you're if you're upcoming and you're a rising star, and of course, when I watch these shows, like I watch, I got turned on to the American regional scene a lot earlier than I did to the UK, which is kind of weird because I'm British. But I always had my eye on Cage Warriors and Bama. When Bama was around, I always had my eye on Bama. Always used to watch it like, oh my god. But that's where really it all started, with on the mic, and a lot of inspiration. Just giving these young guys a chance and a platform to speak, and to tell and to let fans know who they are and that they come into play on a big stage. There's no doubt. So today, folks, tonight I have a very special guest. He is a standout out of Combate Global, which is the center stage platform for Latin American and Latino fighters, to showcase their stuff, to showcase their talent. Today, folks, I have with me Dorian Ramos. Now, Dorian Ramos, folks, just made. He was at Combate as an amateur. He finished his career 4-0. Began his pro career just a few nights ago, going 1-0 at Combate Global. And Combate has always been that type of thing, folks, where if you've been following it when it was Combate Americas, um, it's been always that center stage for Latin fighters, whether you're a woman, whether you're a man, to really, you know, showcase and perform, in your own sort of spotlight, you know. So I guess combating is one of those things. Like you have regional promotions now in Africa with EFC and being the main one, and then you have um, you know regional promotions with Cage Fury being, they do okay. It's fighters from every state, yeah. But when the whole show's in Philadelphia, you have Philly fighters being the center stage. And I guess when we talk about background and we talk about heritage, we talk about and I'm gonna touch on this with Dorian, but just to you fans, just to see, just to really just explain why heritage and background are so important in mixed martial arts, because and in combat sports and boxing especially, is because every fight, and you get some fighters who are a lot more patriotic than others who just fight to represent their nation, to represent their heritage or culture, or to put their culture on the map, like we're seeing with the Chinese in the UFC, or the Georgian community in the UFC. But in boxing, you saw Latinos, you saw Mexican, saw Mexico, Cuba, really, really come on the stage, and even the British now with Prince Nazim and Lennox Lewis. But it's one of these things, yeah, folks, that fighters are proud. Like fighters who come from a heritage like Latino, African American. If you're Latino American, if you're British Asian like myself, if you're Chinese, if you're Oriental, people are proud of where they come from, and it gives it. And to me, when I get to speak to fighters about their background and heritage, it's a real pleasure to me to hear about their stories, like I do with when I speak with Johnny Munoz and Superglue Alan Martinez, and I speak with Alex Coyote Gonzalez. Those three guys who also represent the Latino nation, with their Mexican heritage. Those three guys are so proud when they get to speak about and when they get to represent, Mexico. And Alan Martinez now fights at UWC and in the UWX in yeah, you it's UW, yeah, so it's a UWC UWC Mexico. Yeah, Alan Martinez is the fight in Mexico. And, he loves it in Tijuana. It really brings him closer to home. And Johnny Munoz always, um, you know, Johnny brings that competitiveness. He brings that pride, and there with him in the cage, he always brings that his heritage with him. He's so proud. And of course, Alex Coyote Gonzalez is a Mexican native. The guy was born and bred in Mexico, and it was so great to hear about his story. Growing up in Mexico and the way he trains here, and compared to down there, folks. So today, I always get pleasure when I get to speak to guys, and Dorian Ramos is going to be another one, folks. We're about to do the particulars, so stay tuned. and welcome back. Just had to do the particulars, folks, with tonight's guest, Dorian Ramos, folks, for our 30th episode of MMA Reloaded on the mic. So, folks, thank you so much if you're joining us live. Thank you, folks, for all the support. Of course, thanks again for all the views of On the Mic. It's been a real pleasure to speak to some of the great young stars who I've had the pleasure of sitting with and speaking to. So, folks, of course, there's going to be many more to come. 100, 200, 300, 400, 9,000, 10,000, 11,000. Yeah, bro. More to come from me. There is, folks, and when I get, of course, like I said about heritage and background culture, it interests me so much to hear where fighters come from, their roots, if they open up, it sort of means a lot more to you, folks. Just to sort of diverse from that, it's fight week. Of course, this weekend, folks, is UFC 264, and Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor 3. I've written my thoughts, my predictions, and all these things, but this fight is something that both fighters, it is so important for both men to really grasp this moment. This is it. You're 1-1, bro. Yeah. Conor McGregor beat Dustin Poirier the first time when he was in his prime. Conor was in his prime. This was prime Conor McGregor. This was committed Conor McGregor. This was focused Conor McGregor. And now money has taken over Conor. The fame has taken over Conor. And that has led to him becoming inactive. Inactive. He's taking like 2 years away from fighting, coming back and expecting big things. But, well, in 2 years, so many things change. In one event, so many things change. In pay-per-view, so many things change. So for Conor McGregor to come and think that and still have that mentality to think that, is ridiculous. It's blasphemy because, in my opinion, Dustin Poirier is the one now who deserves everything. That guy, he works so hard, folks. He works so hard. He doesn't talk no shit. He doesn't really, doesn't really boast or brag about how great of a fighter he is. He shows it. He's beaten over 6 world champions, WEC and UFC. Dustin Poirier has been doing this stuff and he's been doing it consistently. And he's been there active, fighting the best of the best. Yeah, it didn't work out for him at featherweight. He was stagnant as the number 4 featherweight in the world. He came to lightweight, and he became probably the best version of himself that he could ever be. He looks jacked as shit, He's defeated over 6 world champions, like I said. His style is a lot more polished. Before he was very, very tight, and now he's so much more loose and so much more confident. As you get older as a fighter, your style, your mentality changes because you're thinking to yourself, bro, I was 21 when I started. I'm 32 now. You start comparing the changes in yourself, bro. And that's what really does it for Dustin Poirier. That's what really does it for guys like Dustin Poirier. Guys who have really grown up in this sport, grown up in this company, grown up in the UFC, or grown up in Strikeforce or WEC, like Jorge Masvidal. From Strikeforce to the UFC now, over 50 pro fights, or like Kamaru Usman from the Ultimate Fighter to now, or like who would be another great example? Like I would say Francis Ngannou as well. From when we saw him first in the UFC, it was quick fights, it was this, it was that, it was the other thing, It was just one shot, bang. That's it, or it was that standing Kimura that he did on Luis Enrique. But for him to really polish himself, and after that Stipe loss, for him to go back, sort of think about what he did wrong and what he didn't really do wrong. That's what really matters. That's what Conor McGregor needs to do. Conor McGregor is great. We know that. Yeah, the amount of money he's brought to the sport, the amount of irons he's brought to the sport. But in terms of himself and what he brings inside the cage now, he needs to go back to SBGW. He needs to say to John Kavanagh, bro, look, I'm not playing around anymore, yeah? I want to fight, and I want to fight now. And I want to fucking, make all these disbelievers and make all these people counting me out that I can still go. He's still young, man. He's only 32. He doesn't even have that many miles on him. He got Floyd Mayweather, that knockout. He went, he got 9 rounds. Then you go Nate Diaz. Bro, Nate Diaz, when he faced Nate Diaz the first 2 times, his confidence was bang. When he got submitted by Nate, his confidence went down. You see, when he loses, it's the way you come off a loss. Conor McGregor was great when Nate and when he went to rematch with Nate. Yeah, he was great when he went into that rematch with Nate. He was like, bro, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna think this time. And he thought in that rematch with Nate, he won the first. Let's say, it's hard. That fight was hard to score, and I finally hard to remember. But I would say he won the first 2 rounds easy. 3, 4, and 5 were close as shit. Especially 4 and 5, where Conor was really just running away from Nate and sort of throwing 1-1 shot. While Nate was getting in his face, he didn't want to make the same mistake as he did in the first fight. But it's one of those things. This is exactly what I'm talking about. He needs to come in this trilogy. He needs to start thinking. If he doesn't think, he's got no chance against Dustin Poirier, who's on form, who wants to fight. Dustin Poirier is like a lion, yeah, bro. He's running, he's calling, he's walking, he's calling. And that's it, Folks, Dorian Ramos is ready. I'm going to stop talking now, yeah? Dorian Ramos is ready. Let's have a look, man. Let's join him up. Yeah. Hey, Dorian, what's up, brother?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm very good.
How's it going?
I'm well, man. I'm well, brother. How are you, man?
Good, man. Just watching some movies, resting, having a good time. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Bro, you must be. I can see the smile on your face, bro. 4 nights ago, you won your pro debut, man.
Man, I'm so happy. I feel like I'm floating in the sky right now. That's how happy I am. It was amazing, man.
Bro, before we get to the pro debut, yeah, for fans who don't know who Dorian Ramos is, yeah, but how did it start for you, man, in MMA and combat sports, brother? What's the story?
Okay, the story is, well, after high school, after wrestling in high school, I wanted to fight. I always wanted to fight since I was a little kid. If it was boxing or MMA. I remember the first time I saw MMA, I think I was like 5 or 6.
Wow.
My dad told me, hey, you're going to fight like that. I think it was like the UFC one. It was in a cassette. And he was like, you're going to fight like that. And I was like, no, like that's scary. I was like, never. Look at me now. It's crazy, huh? But yeah, man, after my senior year of high school, I did so bad in wrestling, and I wanted to do like some type of redemption, and I just started doing this sport. And here I am, man. Finally did my pro debut after so long.
So,
I'm so happy, you know.
So this story goes all the way back to high school, man. You know, and bro, as you
Yeah.
one second, man. One sec, Dorian. Dorian, can you hear me, bro?
Internet connection is unstable. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Now I can. I think it's just scrambling out a little
Yeah,
bit.
I can hear you, but it's just I can't. The screen. Now you can hear me. I live in the middle of nowhere in Tucson.
Yeah. That's a lot better, bro. That's a lot better, man. I mean, bro. So really, that the story goes all the way back to high school, man, and wrestling. So as you got older and you started to think about redemption, bro, was that what inspired you to get into MMA as a career, man, full time?
Yeah, pretty much.
One second, bro. One second. Just a bit.
You know, I wanted to show myself, and you know, here I am. Did it cut off again?
Yeah, cut
I'm
off.
sorry.
Yeah.
It's just it might be my internet.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
That's.
I'm sorry.
That's
I'm sorry.
No, man. No, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right, man. You know, yeah, man. No, that's a lot better, bro.
Okay, now it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot better, man. That's
Sorry
it.
about that.
No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry, bro. So really, man, yeah, you were saying is that what inspired you to make MMA a full time career, man?
Pretty much, yeah. And then I just want to myself, my family, and prove everyone that when you put all your effort into something that you know and you give it your all, anything is possible.
Yeah, definitely.
So you know, I've barely changed. My has changed. I've really career, and I'm not gonna take time on my training. Like I'm just living it, you know, and I'm gonna prove to people that it's possible. Anything is possible if you put your mind to it.
100%, bro. And you know, and that's such a big part of this sport is fighters' dedication and fighters' commitment. Yeah, but I mean, if you're not dedicated, right, there's no real point of making this a career.
Yeah.
You know, right? What would you say, Dorian? You know, as such a young fighter yourself, bro, what would you say are the main things that really go into making a fighter dedicated to this sport?
The main things, honestly, I would say you gotta love this sport. You gotta love it. You gotta love the grind. You gotta love the dieting.
Yeah.
You just gotta somehow love it. You gotta enjoy it. If you dread it and you just, I gotta train for my next camp. I gotta wait. If you think about it that way, you're gonna be miserable.
Yeah.
So I've learned that from the last couple camps that I've done is that you gotta love it. and if you love it, you're gonna be happy, dude. Like I love my life. I love training. I love waking up every day, training 3 times, 4 times a day. Like
Yeah.
I love it. If I don't train 4 times or 3 times a day, I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I need to get my ass. I need to do something, and that's just.
I can't hear you, bro.
The mambo mentality. Is it cutting off again? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it cut off.
So everything cut off? It's just the internet. You didn't hear nothing I said?
No, I heard. I caught a lot of it, bro. Yeah, but then it just started to cut off just now.
I'm so sorry. It sucks, man. It sucks that we're going through this. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna bring the phone and put it next to the computer.
Okay.
Watch. Let me see your phone. So I can put it next to my computer. I'm using hotspot right now on the computer, and I don't know if it's doing so well.
Okay, now hotspot's a dodgy thing, man. Now, bro, now that's a lot better now, man. So yeah, Dorian. I mean, just like you said, bro, you need to love this sport. If you're gonna make this a career, you gotta love the grind, the diet, the training. Boy.
Yeah.
I mean, but when you were when I talk about Latino, and when I talk about the background, right, I talk about culture of the fighters. And some fighters are inspired by their heritage, bro. And so coming from a Mexican background, representing the Latino nation and representing the Mexican people, but how it's such a huge line of legends. You have future legends, you have already legends, you have guys like yourself who are rising. How does it feel to you, Dorian, to represent the Mexican, your Mexican heritage, man, when you fight?
Well, I've always looked up to the Mexican boxers, like Chavez, Salvador Sanchez, Juan Manuel Marquez, Brandon Moreno, now that he's the UFC champion, Cain Velasquez, Henry Cejudo, like I want to make my own story, like why not? Why not? Who's gonna tell me I can't do it? So, like now it's time to make my own story, and I'm excited, like, and it's just the beginning.
You're already doing it, bro. The story is being
I'm already here, yeah. The first chapter is already written, I'm so happy.
the first chapter was the amateur career, bro, 4-0. And now the next chapter, professional, already 1-0. Bro, and Dorian, when we talk about Combate Global, and that's where you made your professional debut, bro, and it's the center stage right now. It is the pinnacle for Latin fighters to really showcase their stuff, right, bro? And how does it feel? How does it feel for you to have that stage where where Latin fighters, whether you have Peru, Colombia, Mexico, they're all competing at Combate, and how does that feel for you to have that stage, and your little the little stage where you can get noticed and you can sort of showcase it like that?
To be honest, I couldn't have written it any way better. That's exactly how I wanted it. I wanted to be Combate. I pictured it. I've always pictured it to be Combate, and it became Combate. I'm so happy, like I can't wait till COVID and everything's over so we could start fighting all over the world. I would like to fight in Peru, Argentina, Chile, Brazil. I would love to fight all over the world, just doing what I love. Combate is a big organization, and they treated me so well. Everything, I'm so happy to be with them, and you know, there's only one goal is to be a world champion, and I'm gonna be a world champion for Combate Americas or
No,
Combate
no.
Global. I'm sorry, you know.
It's still Combate Americas to
Yeah,
me, man. I started watching it when
I
it was
forget
Combate
sometimes.
Americas. I I started watching it Combate Americas, bro. And you know when you made your pro debut, bro, it was such a quick turnaround for you, man, because you just come off the win over Bryce Wyatt, you know, and then it's just and then it was like a what 2 month not even that, bro, like a 2 month turnaround, you know.
I still remember it was I fought May 15th.
Yeah,
I got home May 17th, May 18th. They called me in around 9 a.m. Hey, you want to fight July 9th? I was like, let's do it. I'm ready. I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to go within one day. It's just like I said, you know, you just got to live it. You got to be ready for all the challenges, and you just got to say yes to anything and just be confident in the work you put in. And I went into this fight super confident with the work I put in. I gave it my all, and it paid off, you know?
it did, man. Do you prefer, bro, as a fighter, do you prefer to be active, bro, like fight every few months, or you know, fight short notice, or do you prefer to take breaks in between, man?
I I just like to stay ready, and whatever opportunities come, take it. I don't want to just, you know, stop training
No.
and you know, not be ready. I rather just be ready all year for the next 5 years. Just always stay in shape, ready to go. You know, and
You-
if it's 2 week notice, well, the money better be right, or you know, and then I'll take it.
But at this stage in your career, man, and just starting out as a professional, would you be, of course, like that's in your mind right now, right? Like, I'm ready now, man. You know, if they offer me a fight on 2 days' notice or tomorrow, I'm going.
Yeah, exactly. Like you gotta be ready. You gotta think that way. You gotta be ready for any challenge they bring you. You gotta have your mind. The mind is the most important thing in this game. Is the mind. So if my mind is ready, I'm pretty much set. You know.
Yeah, 100%, bro. And then because you have some guys who, you know, like to take breaks and they like to train and sort of evolve for a couple of months and then take some fights. But I guess like if you're still early in your pro career, the hunger, it's all about the hunger, right? And you, man, and Dorian, you know, and
Yep.
that's what really drives it, man. I love it because you never know what can happen, how it can happen. Um,
Exactly. You never know.
so what I mean, you know, after 4 amateur fights, bro, was it your did you have it in your mind that you wanted to turn pro after 4 amateur fights, or did you want to?
I had five. I was 5-0.
You were 5-0. Yeah, 5-0. Sorry.
One of them doesn't pop up on Sherdog or wherever you look, but I'm 5-0 as an amateur. But I wanted to turn pro back in, when was it, 2019 when COVID happened, or 2020?
2020, yeah.
2020, I was supposed to turn pro March 2020 here in Tucson, Combate America.
Ooh.
And I was supposed to fight March 13th, and I believe March 10th or 9th, they canceled the fight. They canceled everything. That's when everything just started going downhill. And, you know,
Because that was the prime. Yeah, man. March and April, that was the prime of COVID, man.
Yep.
But how are you feeling? How are you feeling during that time, bro? If, you know, because you had your heart set and your mind set on turning pro at that time. Did you get a bit frustrated?
I'm not gonna lie, I got sad because I thought it was Combate that was just making an excuse.
Okay.
But really, it was just the whole world that was going through this. I really thought it was just what I really thought was they were just trying to cancel the fight or something, but it was really the whole world going through this. And after that happened, I was like, you know what? I'm not sad. I'm not mad. I just got over it, on to the next one. But it's part of our life now. We just can't ignore it.
That's one of those things, man. But then,
But going back to what you told me, you said about going pro.
yeah,
You're never really ready to go pro. You just gotta take the jump. You just gotta say, fuck it, I'm ready. Like just next step, and just because you never know when you're ready. So you just gotta take the jump. You gotta take the leap of faith. And
leap of faith.
yeah.
Exactly, man. That's it. I mean, does it really just depend on what type of fighter you are, bro? Because as an amateur, it's a blessing because you get to learn, and it's like a learning curve, right? As an amateur, bro. Did you what was your mentality like as an amateur, man? Did you feel that okay, cool, every fight, yeah, I'm just evolving. Every fight I get to showcase what I've been training out in the gym.
Pretty much, yeah. Every fight, I always try to do something else. I always set a goal every fight. To be honest, every fight I would go in there trying to knock them out. And that's my mentality. Always go in there to try to knock their head off. But my last amateur fight, I couldn't knock them out. I couldn't get that Bryce. I couldn't take him out. I was trying so hard, but I'm glad I did the 3 rounds. The whole fight, because I was very confident in my cardio after that.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, I'm more than ready for pro, and I'm happy with my last performance, my last amateur performance.
And so when you turn pro, man, when a fighter does turn pro, bro, usually it changes something in them mentally because you're taking a step up, right, bro? Like we said, like you have to be ready, right? And your mentality is the main thing. So when fighters do turn pro, it does something to them mentally, man. How did you feel during, going professional? How did you feel mentally, bro? Did you feel like, okay, I'm ready for this, man? And it doesn't. It's only a step up for me in each chapter.
To be honest, my last amateur, my 5th one, I treated it as a pro. My mind was already pro. I was already thinking like a pro because I was gonna be a pro in March of 2020. So when they switched me, Miami, I wanted to make my pro debut in Miami, but they told me I needed 5 amateurs and I only had 4. So I had to go back and fight in May 15th, my last amateur. I was already thinking like a pro. I was thinking 15 minutes, 5-minute rounds. So pretty much I did it as a pro. So when I did my pro debut, it was basically my second pro fight, I would say, mentally,
So, bro, you were already ready, man. You were ready already, bro.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm telling you, it's up here. Everything's up here. If you're strong and sharp up here, we're ready.
And because of that mentality, bro, did you change anything in training camp, or did you change anything going up to professional, like what you trained and how you trained, or your nutrition?
Yeah, I changed my diet. I changed my diet completely. Everything I eat is for training. If it doesn't give you power in the training, I don't eat it. I don't eat fast food. Like fast food does not give you power when you're training. If that's the mentality I have. If it doesn't give you power, don't eat it. If it's garbage, you're gonna perform like garbage. That's the diet. With training, I would say that I used to just go live and spar all the time and just give it 100, but my body just kept hurting and hurting and hurting, and like that's something I did change. Now I do it once or twice a week. I don't do it every day like I used to. I really switched up my training in that sense.
So how do you think, how has that benefited you, changing your nutrition and what you eat, and then changing your training routine. How has that benefited you, bro, as your career has gone on? Has it made you a lot physically? Has it made you feel a lot better?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so before I started taking care of my body with nutrition and eating good, I was walking around 183, 185, 180, I was full of fat, and I had to cut 40 pounds, like 40, 35 pounds just to make weight. And eating bad, that cut was hurting because I would cut to 145. And now that I'm eating good, taking care of my body, all the fat started falling off me. Now I walk around 158, 160. That's my natural weight. So now I just cut easily 15, 12 pounds is what I cut. And that's nothing.
I mean, that works out. That works out so well for you, bro. Because you're not cutting, 15, 20 pounds. You're cutting 12 pounds, 13 pounds, and it's a lot more natural, right? You don't have to starve yourself or thirst yourself, to make weight like some of the bigger guys do. And do you think that a fighter should stay fighting at their natural weight class, to make it easier for themselves? Because you have guys who go up because they can't make it at the natural weight, or you guys that go down because they want to be a bigger guy. Do you think it's better for fighters to fight at a weight where it's so easy, where it's so natural for them?
Yeah, I feel like natural weight, we should all just do natural, wherever we're at, maybe cut 5 pounds, I feel you perform better, you feel better, you live better, you're happier. I would love to fight at 155, but I'll be too small at 55, The people from 55, they cut from heavy. They're heavy, So maybe one day I'll fight at 55. Right now, I'll just keep cutting those 12 pounds and
That's the thing.
but I'm pretty sure somehow it affects cardio and affects your performance, cutting all that weight and putting your body through all that. I know for a fact it affects the athletes.
So when you were walking around, Dorian, early at 183, were you still fighting then, or were you not fighting at that point? Are you
Yeah,
fighting?
I was fighting at 145 at featherweight.
No way. So you were cutting
I would,
30.
I would cut that weight as an amateur. I would cut, dude. I don't know how I did it, but I would do it. I was just a walking butterball.
So would
Now,
so would you say that as you got older and as you've gotten a lot smarter, would you say that that's what really caused the change in you to move and to sort of take care of your body to make it easier on you?
yeah, pretty much. I just, if in order to be an elite athlete, diet is one of the things I had to change. My diet, my training, my thinking, my living, the music I listen to, the words I speak, everything, everything, everything.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that as well, bro, in a little bit, yeah. So with weight cutting, bro, for fans who don't know, what usually goes in to a fighter's weight cut routine? I know every fight is different, but what goes into your weight cut routine when you cut weight, bro?
You're saying what do I eat?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, in the morning, I like to have my smoothie. I call it puro pinche power. It's just power. Like I have fruit. I go to Costco and buy those big bags of fruit.
Yeah.
There's strawberries, berries. Some of them have pineapple. I like having different fruits. Every day I have green. One day I'll have green. One day I have say berries that's red with beets. But all my smoothies I have I put protein. I put coconut oil, MCT oil, fiber blend. I pretty much put a lot of stuff into my morning. The first thing I have is my smoothie with 1 scoop of protein. I drink that and then I go off and I go work. I work from usually from 5 to 10, 5 in the morning to 10.
Okay.
And then at 10:30, I train. I train from 10:30 to 1. At 1, I have another smoothie, the same exact smoothie. I drink it. And then I usually get home. My wife will cook for me something chicken, She usually cooks something healthy for me. I try to eat rice twice or 3 times a week, not every day, no grain, no tortillas. Oh, dude, I've been eating tortillas. I've been eating tortillas every day since I got back. I need to stop already. Fuck. It's gonna end me.
So the routine, so the nutrition pro with the smoothies, is that when you're on training camp as well, bro? Do you still stick to the smoothies?
I still stick to it. I haven't had it since because I need to go grocery shopping right now, but I try to do it every day. Even if I'm not in training camp, I still try to keep it going,
Yeah,
But when I'm in training camp, I make sure I have 2 smoothies a day plus 2 meals. I eat a lot, dude. Like, believe it or not, I eat a lot. I eat so much, but it's all good food. It's all good food.
I mean, that's it, right, bro? Like you said, like if you eat crap, you're gonna feel crap, right? It doesn't matter if you eat good. Yeah, you can keep eating, and then man,
you eat food that gives you power, and then it helps you out in the training.
That's it, man.
A lot of people don't believe me when I say I eat like 5 times a day, but I do, and I still make weight. I maintain weight. They think that if you eat once a day and you drink 1 glass of water, that's how you cut weight. You cannot do that because then you won't have energy to cut weight. You won't have nothing to burn.
So when you're in training camp doing, and you're cutting weight for a fight, what is your diet then, bro? Do you change your diet when you're cutting weight for training for a fight, bro?
So once I'm like 3 weeks out, usually I start dropping all my habits like ice cream. Ice cream is my worst. That's gonna that's what's gonna end me. Ice cream. I drop tortillas, rice, frijoles, bread. I start doing it. I start leaving it. Once it's 2 weeks, like nothing. Everything that goes in my body is good food. After 2 weeks. Once it's 1 week, I just start drinking more water and just start watching what I eat. Usually the day of the weight cut, I should drop 5 pounds of water weight the day of the weight cut. So I try to be 155 2 weeks before, so I could walk, because usually the day of the fight I walk around 157, 155. So I try to have that weight on me 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the fight. So that's what I'm training with, because that's the body I'm taking into the fight. So pretty much the last week is when I cut the most weight.
Yeah. So that's your natural weight, right? If you want to walk around, like you said, you want to be 157 2 weeks or 3 weeks out, that's because that's you, right? That's your natural cut right there. Yeah, man. 100%. And like you said before, if you weigh if you're walking around 183 pounds, and you're supposed to be 145, like you said, bro, it's gonna do your cardio. Fucked up. It's gonna fuck up your cardio, bro.
You're gonna fuck up everything. Your mind, your body, your heart, everything is gonna go bad if you don't nutrition the correct way.
And speaking of the mind, bro. Speaking of the mind, right? Well, I know we've spoken about this throughout the show, but they say mentality in MMA and combat sports is 90% mental and 10% physical. Yeah, but how important is it I mean, especially for you, bro, being undefeated right now. Yeah. You know, some people may say, "Oh man, Dorian, bro, you're undefeated, man. You know, the pressure must be building and building." Um, you know,
It's the truth. It's the truth. It's like being undefeated, not knowing how it feels to lose. Like, I just got to keep doing what I've been doing and keep thinking how I've been thinking. This last fight, I battled myself a lot. I was in the COVID bubble from Monday all the way to Friday. I was in my room by myself. I didn't see no one. I didn't talk to no one. I was only on the phone, but I was in that room by myself battling. I basically had 2 fights that week. One by myself from Monday through Friday, and then Friday night I had my opponent. So it's pretty much you just got to stay 100 up here, and if you're good up here and you're strong, everything's good.
definitely, bro. Definitely, man. 100,
Even when when you're walking into the fight, if you somehow have a negative thought and you lose it, it's not gonna go well. If you have a negative thought, just grab it and throw it away and just start thinking sharp. That's that's the best way to explain it.
So you answered two of my questions, bro. I was gonna say how important is being is it having a strong mentality for a fighter. How important is that? Yeah, bro. You answered that straight away, man. Yeah.
You gotta stay sharp. You know, you just gotta stay on it. I remember being inside the cage and just seeing all the lights, looking up. And then like one little negative thought, I'm like, hell no, out. Like, this is my night. Like, being inside there, dude, just gives me goosebumps. It makes, it gets me going right now. Start shaking, start getting nervous. It's just a feeling you cannot explain when the cameras and the lights are under you. It could break you or it could make you. So.
And what about during the fight, Dorian? What about round 1, round 2, round 3? Say does adrenaline take over a lot, bro? As in, like, do you sort of go round by round, like, say, the game plan might go out the window and you might go with the flow? Does that happen a lot, bro?
Yeah, it's crazy because when you're training and sparring and everything, you don't get tired. You could keep going, you could do amazing things. But once you're under the lights, the adrenaline somehow takes over. It drains you. It hasn't drained me to the point where I can't do nothing. I still go out there and perform, but I could definitely feel it. And that's something that my next fight, I'm ready. I know what to expect and how to prepare.
Yeah, man. Ready for the see you back, man.
Huh?
I'm ready to see you back in the cage, man.
Oh, I'm so excited. You know what? It sucks that nobody got to watch my fight. Did you watch it?
It's available now, bro. Yeah, I mean, if you follow Combate on Facebook, really? People can watch clips.
I need to watch it. I haven't even seen my fight. I'm trying to watch it.
I don't think the whole fight is there, bro. It's only like a clip of the fight. Yeah.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna have to look into it.
I think it's there. So yeah, man. I mean, they usually post these things up, bro, like a day, 2 days after. So yeah, man. I mean, Dorian, bro, for you, bro, and just to wrap the show up, man, right now.
Yeah.
Who was some of your inspiration, bro, coming to this sport? Who inspired you, fighters or family?
Salvador Sanchez. Do you know who that is? No, you have to look into him. He was a champion back in the 80s. Okay. From Mexico. He was a world champion at 23 years old. He would fight 15 rounds. Dude, if you watch his footage, on the 15th round, this dude didn't even look tired. His cardio was unbelievable. He had knockout power. I have a picture of him on my wall next to my speed bag. When I'm hitting the speed bag, I'm watching him. He died at age 23, though. he got in a car accident. He won a world title, I believe, or defended it. And he was driving back to Mexico and he got in a car accident, died. And, you know, he, I believe he got inducted to the Hall of Fame very young, like at 23, 24. He was already in the Hall of Fame because of what he had done at an early, young age. So I look up to him. I ask for power. I ask him to help me, you know, because I believe you could talk to them. And it's very sad, but yeah.
I'm sorry, Brian. You know, but what a role model, what an icon to have, man. What a guy to look up to.
Yeah, you should look into him. You should check out his videos. You should watch him.
I will, man. I will. And, bro, it's like what we were saying about heritage and culture. You know, Salvador Sanchez is, you know, the way, you know, he's a Mexican legend, bro, from the way you say, you know, and in the 80s as well, till now, to have a guy like that to look up to, but I respect that, man.
Yeah, you know, it's just, now it's my time to be, you know, I still got a lot of work to do. I can't speak a lot or say a lot. I just, like I said, I got to keep working so people look up to me that way one day and people will speak about me, you know.
That's it.
But, you know, I'm happy where I'm going.
Man, I'm happy for you, man. Yeah, you're about to go in there, make it 2-0 as a pro, man. No doubt about that. You know, man, I see a bright future for you, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate
Thank
you, man.
So much. Hey, man, this is my first podcast, man. I loved it, man. You made me feel comfortable. You made me feel special. Thank you, man. You're a good guy.
No, man, for me, bro, I'll tell you something, man. You know, I love when I got turned on to MMA and I started doing shows, but I started looking at Latino fighters the first thing, man, because you know, that's where I got turned on to the first time, man. You know, but you're always welcome on my show anytime you want, man. Yeah.
Thank you. Let's do it again. Every time I fight, 2-0 is gonna be the next one. The next chapter 2-0, we'll be back.
Chapter 2, brother.
Yeah.
Dorian, man, bro, I want to thank you, man, for coming on the show, man. And you know, eat ice cream and tortillas while you can, brother.
I'm enjoying them right now. Oh man, it's okay. I'm going to Mexico tomorrow. I'm going to Rocky Point. Me and my wife just gonna go enjoy ourselves.
Right.
And you know, it's gonna be a good time. I'm excited.
Nice, bro. Man, have fun in Mexico tomorrow, man. And thank you for coming on the show, man.
Thank you.